Welcome to the Alfred University celebration of the class of 2020. Hello, graduates, faculty, trustees, family, and friends. Thank you for joining us. To kick off the celebration, I would like to turn this over to our president, Dr. Mark Zupan. President Zupan.
Thank you, Provost Dobie. It's an honor to be with you this morning to celebrate the class of 2020, earning your Alfred University degrees. We are so happy for and proud of you, and so grateful for the resilience you've displayed over the last few months in pivoting to an online learning platform. I applaud and commend you, our staff, and our faculty for rising to the occasion. You've done us immensely proud. What I'd like to do in these opening remarks is briefly touch on some ways that we intend to be helpful to you over the coming months, because the job market is not ideal. For those of you that have already landed, and many of you have, or are on to graduate school, we wish you all the best. For those that haven't, consider some possibilities. A number of your classmates have said you'd like to continue learning at Alfred University. It's a way to postpone the loans you have outstanding, if that's the case, and a way to keep investing in your education here with us that'll serve you in good stead when the job market improves. So you may want to consider options like our graduate degree programs, getting a second major, or perhaps even exploring a certificate in areas like data analytics, business analytics, health program management, areas that are bound to be in high demand over the long run. We look forward to working with you and advising you along those lines for those of you that are interested. Second, you received an email earlier this week about the CARES Act that provides funding through Alfred University from the federal government for those of you that have been affected by COVID-19 and have incurred additional expenses. There's certain criteria for being eligible. Please fill out the application as soon as possible to be able to qualify. And we will work with you if you're eligible for the funding. It's estimated to be several $100s per student that's been affected, but you have to fill out the application and you have to meet the eligibility requirements. Third, we're intent on harnessing the Saxon network to help you identify meaningful opportunities. And Kim Geyer, our Vice President of Student Affairs, and I will be co-hosting a series of Zoom meetings throughout the summer that'll bring together 10 to 15 of you at a time, we're envisioning, with 10 to 20 alumni who either have opportunities or can provide mentoring, who've lived through their own challenging times. So if you're interested in participating, please respond to the email you also received earlier this week. Alexandra Argentieri in our Alumni Relations Office to register your permanent email address so that we can be in touch with you if you're interested in participating in one of these Zoom sessions. But most of all, congratulations. And here to join me in echoing those congratulations is our board chair, Greg Connors, an esteemed member of the class of 1992. Experienced a wide range of our programs, started off in ceramic engineering, but in 48 hours, he will say, found out that wasn't for him. Ended up transferring and ended up participating in political science and found out that he's an entrepreneur at heart. He started the distinguished law firm Connors and Ferris. The firm now has 3 offices in the state, Buffalo, Rochester, and the latest one in Rockefeller Center in New York City. So Greg, please join me in congratulating our class of 2020.
Thank you, President Zupan. I greatly appreciate that introduction. Well, on behalf of 35 fellow Board of Trustee members, many of whom are Alfred University graduates, we want to welcome you to the 2020 Alfred University first ever virtual graduation ceremony. What a way to celebrate the many accomplishments that you have achieved. Now, I've been very fortunate and very blessed to have met many of you throughout your years on campus. Some of them are even joining us here today and have been selected as the Marlin Miller Outstanding Senior Award. One thing I want to remind you, when you even though you leave the magic valley of Alfred, when you come back as graduates, that magic is still here. So we welcome you back. So when we open up, we want you to come back. And we hope to see you in December in person so we can celebrate your great accomplishments. Now, I'm humbled and honored to introduce to you a fellow Alfred University graduate and Board of Trustee. He was the former chair of the Board of Trustees as well, Peter Cuneo. Peter is also a veteran of the Vietnam War and was an officer in the U.S. Navy. Now, Peter is one of the most renowned Alfred University graduates, as well known throughout the business community. In fact, Peter is renowned and regarded as bringing a little bit of Alfred magic to the business world. He helped turn around companies like Clairol, Black & Decker, Remington, and most importantly, and probably everyone knows this one, Marvel Comics. Peter took over Marvel Comics when it was about less than $1 per share. With that Alfred background, with that Alfred magic, he was able to turn it around so the shares were over $50, and then ultimately sold it to Walt Disney World for over $4 billion. Peter has been a tremendous mentor to me and many other members of the board. It gives me great honor to introduce to you one of the most renowned Alfred University graduates, Peter Cuneo.
Well, thank you very much, Chairman Connors. I really appreciate that introduction. Thanks to President Zupan, to the Board of Trustees, to our grads who are watching, listening, to our faculty, administration, family, and friends for having me on today to talk briefly to you. You may notice I'm certainly not in commencement garb, but I'm in my house in Connecticut, in horse country. We've been here almost 10 weeks now and suspect we'll be here for a while. And but I'm very pleased to be able to be with you through the auspices of Zoom. I've only been given 5 minutes to welcome everyone. And every speaker, of course, always thinks when they have to give a talk that they want to say something profound, something that will be remembered by the audience forever. That's going to be, of course, very difficult today, but I'm going to give it a try. I think that while I'm looking to say something profound, the most profound aspect of today is the world we live in, which has changed so radically over the past couple of months, a world that certainly none of the older generations ever expected to experience. And this will provide, I think, very unique challenges for our grads as they go forth after commencement. And often when times are difficult, we all try to figure out how to cope. And one of the ways that I try to cope is to look back in my past and try to learn from some of the lessons that have come my way. Some of them have come my way the hard way, probably the lessons I've learned the best. And I think about the time that I was actually in Vietnam and having to get used to the idea of young people dying. And I was able to do that over time. But I think that the later phase of my life where I got involved in business turnarounds, which require making radical changes to businesses. Change is always difficult for human beings. And for that reason, often I found myself not to be the most popular guy in the company, but things that had to be done. But I always told myself in making those changes and working on those turnarounds that, well, it's okay, no one will die. And now we find ourselves in a situation where I have the combination of Vietnam and my professional life actually in front of us, but for everybody, literally everyone walking the planet. So it's totally unique. Some of you know that I've been in the motion picture business, and we have a saying that you can't make this up. And someone was saying to me recently, could you ever make a movie from our current situation, from the challenge of the virus and all the other economic, social challenges around the world, the health challenges? And of course, one could never make a movie from this because no one would believe it. I also like to look back in history to try to find some ways to cope as well, lessons from history. And I often at commencement do think a little bit about King Alfred. Why did the founders of Alfred University name the school after Alfred? What was unique about him? And Alfred lived 1,100 years ago. And the real reason was that Alfred has always been known as the education king and is always revered as one of the great kings of England. And he was very committed to education, particularly for the masses. And he started a lot of schools. And one of his big changes that he made during his reign was to change the language at church services from Latin to vernacular English so that all the masses could actually understand what was being said. Because unless you were one of the very few educated people at that time, you did not understand the Latin. And he understood that the message, and he was a very pious person, that the message had to reach everybody, peasants as well as the well-off. And so it's a very big factor. Alfred was also a warrior. He was a warrior king. His great goal was to unite all the different kingdoms in the English area into what we now call today England, and he accomplished some of that goal during his lifetime. He also had the Vikings to cope with and was able to keep them at bay as well during that time. So Alfred the educator, warrior. And when I think a little bit about what we mean by a warrior today, I think it's different than in the past. Definition of a warrior to me in the past was someone who's very brave in battle. I think today we use the phrase warrior for someone who's very committed to a particular cause or goal. Somebody who just won't give up. Someone who will use as much of their personal and professional energy, physical and mental energy, that is required to reach that goal or to support that cause. And I think Alfred today, in a sense, is sending his grads out to be warriors tomorrow, because that's the world we live in. And I like to think that the Alfred culture, Alfred's diversity, its scholarship has prepared all of our grads today to be warriors, to be warrior leaders. I do have a love of history, as I think you can see, and I'm privileged to be on the board of the National Archives Foundation in Washington, D.C. The National Archives is the government department that keeps all the records of the United States of America from day one. We have 16 billion documents, and I say billion. These are housed, they are protected, stored, collated by the archives. They are in 44 locations around the United States. We also oversee 14 presidential libraries. And if you're ever in Washington, D.C., you should go to the archives headquarters, which is close to the White House, and see the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and so on. It's a great experience. I'm a person who believes that past is prologue, and that the study of history can bring a certain amount of wisdom to anybody. Human nature doesn't change very much over centuries. We're generally driven by the same emotions. They just often come out differently. But the past is prologue, and I think in thinking about what we're facing now, one might, look back in history to learn from similar events, if there ever have been similar events, and I'm not sure there have been. But history also teaches us that our great warriors, whether they be American or in world history, are also great leaders. And I want to talk just briefly about leadership, because as I said, I think Alfred has prepared our graduates to be warrior leaders immediately, something that our country needs very badly. And I think that you learn leadership from life experiences. So if I can leave you with one piece of advice, and this would be for the grads or for anyone listening or watching, and that is that in your personal life and professional life, don't hesitate to take measured risks. Always think about reaching higher than you think you can go. You'll be very surprised and delighted by the results. I was lucky in my life to have a number of people who did that for me, who encouraged me, who believed in me, and pushed me to go higher than I thought I could. And one in particular always used the phrase, Cuneo, you don't know how good you are. Used that many times with me. And it's really ingrained in my brain, in my memory. And I think about it most days. What's great about Alfred is that all of our graduates have already a large group of people that believe in them. It's the Alfred community. It's that culture that I talked about before. You are part of what might be called the Alfred clan, and that clan believes in all of you. I don't know many of you, but I am quite sure that you have great potential to go very far. Again, reach high. You don't know how good you really are. So congratulations to all of our graduating warrior leaders. Congratulations to the families, the friends who are here today as well. While life is very difficult right now, I think things will get a lot better. And I'm very optimistic, actually. And I think that our grads will do great. I actually think that our grads will change the world. Perhaps in little ways, perhaps in big ways, but they have the ability as warrior leaders to change the world. Good luck to all of you, and thanks very much for having me.
Now it's my pleasure to introduce our two Marlin Miller Outstanding Seniors, Amber Smith and Anastasia Campbell. Amber and Anastasia have excelled academically. They were inducted into multiple honor societies, but they've also both been deeply involved in lots of different campus activities, really touching a lot of students' lives. We're very proud with the campus leaders that they have become, and they've really been involved in our community in so many ways. So congratulations to you both. So first, Amber Smith, it was a major in biomaterials engineering with minors in business administration, chemistry, biology, and math. She was in the honors program and also a member of Phi Beta Kappa. She played on the varsity tennis team for 4 years. So we'll hear more from Amber in December, but right now, Amber, please say some remarks to your class.
Welcome, everyone. Class of 2020, congratulations on your achievement. Graduation is no small milestone, especially with everything we have endured in our final semester. We are a truly unique group of seniors, robust in overcoming hardships and the ultimate survivors of change. In times like these, we experience a priceless adventure, reminding us of what has made the past so great and to value and appreciate the things we took for granted. After great thought, I summed my adventure into 3 categories, which I think many can relate to: family, friends, and lifestyle moments. Family. After being away for so long, you forget the comfort of being home, the ability of your family members to make everything seem okay, even when it's clearly not, and the unbreakable relationships between you and your siblings. Thank you to all the family members that have supported the class of 2020. I have also realized what a special place Alfred is for having this same ability. At Alfred, I have experienced home-cooked meals at professors' houses, was given advice by my res life mom, and always had my teammates and athletic community for support. Even in hard times, without power or water, the AU family comes together to support each other. Friends. Not only is Alfred unique, but the people attending Alfred are too. Alfred has given me friends for life and practically a sister. Without the endless support of my friends, I'm not sure I'd be giving this speech today. However, they remind me that, as Bart Jackson's book suggests, behind every successful woman is herself. And finally, life's little moments. I love this category so much, I asked others to add to it. These don't seem very important at the time, but looking back, they're precious. So here are not only my moments, but others too. Dancing for what seemed like forever in my apartment's living room with my friends to relieve stress and to procrastinate. Learning to play pool in Oppenheim, which prepared us for the major leagues at Alex's. Coconut shrimp sharing at Rosebush, terracotta coffee, and panda date nights. Carpool karaoke sessions on the way to Hornell. Climbing through the window because you locked yourself out. Weekly lunch at Nana's and staying up late talking with the roommates. And constant chit-chats anywhere about anything just because we could. These are more than just moments. They're the memories we'll never forget about Alfred. They're what made our Alfred degree valuable so much. Again, congratulations, Alfred University, class of 2020. Good luck on your next adventure.
Thank you, Amber. Our second outstanding senior is Anastasia Campbell. Anastasia majored in criminal justice studies with a minor in public law. She did study abroad in England and Spain, for which she received a Lex Fellowship. Among many roles and activities, Anastasia was an educator activist with Art Fort 5. She was a student ambassador. She was a legal intern with Connors and Ferris, and she was the inaugural president for a day. Anastasia.
Welcome and congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you for being here, for striving forward and rising above adversity when the world around you seemed to crumble. We gathered to celebrate all of our wonderful achievements, and I just want to say that I'm proud of each and every one of you. Thank you to everyone else for joining us, and I'm honored to speak in front of you all today as we have weathered this storm together, and now comes the time to celebrate. I've reflected on my time here at Alfred many times, and I remember it like it was yesterday, the excitement and the nerves as I moved into my dorm for the first time. I did not know what Alfred had in store for me, and I had many reservations about what these 4 years would look like for me. It was not until I joined that club, interacted with that classmate, met with that professor, attended that event that I realized the magic of this place. Every experience has shaped me to be who I am today. And I also reflect on all of you and the personal growth that I have witnessed. I have never met a more forward-thinking group of individuals that inspire me to be a leader daily. Class of 2020 is a very special class, and I knew that from the very start. When we look back on our journey up until today, it is only us that can recount the special and unusual circumstances that was our final semester. Who would have ever thought that we would be the class to have a virtual hot dog day, all online classes, and this virtual celebration? I can confidently say that class of 2020 has left its mark on Alfred University just as significantly as Alfred University has left its mark on us. As we move forward, I hope that you stay encouraged. Take pride in how far you have come and how far you will go. Thanks again, and congratulations.
Thank you, Anastasia. Our academic deans would also like to extend their congratulations to our students. So I'd like to start with Dr. J. Cerio, Dean of Graduate and Continuing Studies, AUNY. Dean Cerio.
Thank you, Provost Dobie. Well, it's truly an honor to recognize the graduates of the School of Graduate Continuing Studies today. The completion of your degrees is a testament to your determination and flexibility under the changing instructional conditions and all that related stress caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. I can't tell you how impressed I've been to see how you've stuck with this, especially under the less than ideal circumstances the past 2 months. Given that most of you were completing your training as school psychologists, school counselors, mental health counselors, professional psychologists, college student development professionals, and teachers, you've already been involved with providing frontline services to children, adults, and families who have been affected by the pandemic. And now you're entering your chosen fields at a time when the need for dedicated teachers and mental health providers in schools and community-based mental health and substance abuse providers will be greater than ever. College student development graduates are embarking on careers in higher education during a period that amounts to a monumental paradigm shift in how colleges will operate. These will be challenging times for all of us, but I'm certain that you're equipped to meet these challenges. So I'd like to offer my congratulations. I hope you celebrate your accomplishment today, and good luck to you on taking leadership roles and as helping professionals as we enter the era of the new normal. Provost Dobie.
Now I'd like to turn it over to Dean Gabrielle Gaustad.
Thank you, Provost Dobie. Graduates of the Inamori School of Engineering, congratulations. I'm thrilled to celebrate this momentous occasion with you, even virtually. I remember my graduation day from Alfred University very clearly. It was an incredibly hot day. We were packed into the McLean Center, wearing our robes and hats and sweating. Previous to realizing the intense temperatures, I was actually quite proud to be wearing an array of honors around my neck. But I quickly realized it was about the equivalent of having a few winter scarves on. My engineering colleague next to me, a great guy, but not known for making great grades, he had nothing additional around his neck, and he turned to me, who had sweat dripping down my face, and said, "Who's the smart one now?" So while this isn't the same celebration we hope to have, at least you're spared sweating it out. I give you this story about my graduation, not just because it's funny, and we do still laugh about it, but because both of us ended up having very interesting and successful careers, completely regardless of our vast differences in GPA. Once you leave here with your engineering degree, it will be your drive, coupled with the skill sets that you developed and will continue to develop, that are going to propel you into your careers. So congratulations, engineers. I can't wait to see where you end up. It's my pleasure to turn it back over to Provost Dobie.
Gerar Edizel, Dean of the School of Art and Design and Performing Arts.
Thank you, Provost Dobie. Hello, class of 2020 of the School of Art and Design and the Division of Performing Arts. You are a mighty class. You rose to meet an unprecedented challenge in the history of our school. And true to form, you accomplished an exemplary senior show under entirely new conditions. We are proud of your virtual senior show, and so should you. These are strange times. Making strange has been a venerable concept and tool in modern art. Artists have welcomed and produced the estrangement effect of defamiliarization and the recontextualization that followed. A shift in perspective generates the opportunity for recontextualization. What we are living through will recontextualize much of what we do. This is fertile ground for your creativity, and that's a major silver lining. Get hold of it. Put your imagination into practice. The time is now. Congratulations to all of you, and I hug you all, each and every one of you. Thank you, Provost Dobie.
Dean Toot, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
Thank you, Provost Dobie. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, please accept our sincere congratulations to all the graduating class of 2020, and particularly those from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Please know that we admire the strength of character and determination that you and your professors have exhibited so that you could finish your degree on time. I know that right now your plans are likely up in the air and you may be very nervous about the future. I don't blame you. But I wish you could hear what I have heard from many of our most successful alumni. Over and over again, they tell me that what's needed in the world these days is people who can think, who can communicate, and who can problem solve. I'm absolutely convinced that your education will prove to be exactly the right one for the future. Your education includes broad perspectives and deep insights. You and the world will need them both going forward. I ask that you step out boldly, think broadly about what you will do for the rest of your life. Your Alfred education will allow you to bring your perspectives and insights to whatever awaits you. Our best wishes and continuing support go with you. Congratulations. Provost Dobie.
Dean Mark Lewis, College of Business.
Thank you, Provost Dobie. Graduates of the class of 2020, and especially the graduates of the College of Business, congratulations. What a very special day. And congratulations to your families and all those who've supported you on this educational journey. Welcome to your commencement, a time of great celebration, a time of great uncertainty, a time of great change. I learned early in my Air Force career that flexibility is the key to air power. I learned early on Wall Street that flexibility is the key to success in Wall Street. And I've learned now that flexibility is the key to success in life. And you've shown tremendous flexibility as you've dealt with all the changes that have been thrust upon us the last couple of months. MBA students, I'm so proud of the work that I've seen you do, especially your work in the creativity and innovation class. I was just blown away by the work that you've produced. For those of you earning your bachelor's degree today, I remember a Friday in August 4 years ago, as we got in our first college session, your wide-eyed faces, your nervousness, some of the clothes you were even wearing at that day, and I won't pick on any of you, but you know who you are. And watching you from that very first day through your senior year has been just a thrill. I know there have been some difficult classes. I know you've had some difficult professors, me included, I'm sure, but you have risen to the challenge all the way. I am heartened to tell you that I have had outreach recently from 2 AU alums looking to fill positions and wanting those to be filled by current graduates. So it's been especially heartwarming to see our alums reaching out in this time of challenging employment. We have a special graduate today that's not your typical graduate, and that's Dr. Amy Rummel, who's graduating today from 3 decades of teaching at Alfred University. She's been such an influence on generations of students. So to Amy, I just want to say our congratulations and best wishes for the rest of your new adventures. And speaking of adventures, to all of you in the class of 2020, we wish you great adventures going forward, great success. And if there's any way that we, the faculty and staff of the College of Business, can support you, please just let us know. Congratulations. Provost Dobie.
Thank you, Deans, for all of those special messages. And to close our celebration, I call again on President Zupan.
Thank you, Provost Dobie, our deans, Anastasia, Amber, Peter, and Greg. Thank you all for joining us today. Most of all to the graduates who've risen to this occasion through their creativity and fortitude. You had to pull off a virtual senior art show, a virtual hot dog day, a virtual research forum. Our board chair has even suggested we ought to think about a virtual midnight breakfast. So Kim Geyer and I are thinking about maybe one of the sessions with you to brainstorm leads will be around midnight breakfast time. So let us know if that would be something you'd be in favor of. I have yet to interact with one of our students over the past couple of months, largely virtually, that has said, I prefer the new norm to the old. To a person, what you've relayed is an ache and a greater appreciation for this immersive residential learning model that has been our hallmark here for nearly 2 centuries. We are looking to return to that model as soon as possible. That should give us great faith for the future as we navigate these challenging times. And speaking of challenges, it's often said you don't get to choose all the challenges you face, but what we get to choose is how we confront those challenges. And as we commend you for how you've been rising to the occasion, we encourage you to keep doing likewise. Do yourselves proud, your classmates, your families, your faculty, staff, and most of all, our university. Now is the time for us to bring the light. We look forward to having you back on campus in December for a real commencement. And then also in June, what we're planning is something we've never done before at reunion, is to celebrate our +1 class. Usually it's the +5, the +10, but these have been unusual circumstances. And we want to live our motto of being outside, or our slogan of being outside of ordinary. So as I raise my university mace here, would you please join me in singing our alma mater? Fiat Lux, keep bringing the light.
No.